road.
Okay. And you'd never know when. I say this each and every week. I reckon we are live.
We are.
So here we are. Okay, 6:01, 1 minute past 6. Here we are, ladies and some gents. If there's some gents watching this week, welcome to Wellness Conversations. This is the Woo Woo series. So each and every week, Sunday between 6 and 7, ladies, we come into this space, and it's all about the unusual, the unique, and the unknown. My name is Michelle Scott, and Wellness Conversations, the Woo Woo series, is presented by our wellness community, sponsored by Spiritual Events Directory. And as I said, I'm Michelle Scott. I'm a numerologist, healer, radio talk show host, also the founder and facilitator of our wellness community. And I bring in each and every week, as you know, ladies, if you follow us regularly, I bring in somebody amazing each and every week, if not a few somebodies. And this week I'm bringing in Trish Rock. who actually SED audience will know, because Trish had her own show on here. So you know that Trish is a transformation catalyst, an author, psychic, and, you know, lots of tools in your kit, Trish.
Absolutely. Lots of life experience, Michelle.
Yes, don't you love it? I know. That is the beauty. I do love being, you know, on this side, the latest, you know, the other half, the later side of our lives. But at the same time, when we say that, because we are so rich, we're so rich in experience and knowing and knowledge, you know, we've really been through a journey, so we can really say for sure that it is just a journey, that you'll get through this, and we can give so much more than we could give in the earlier part when we didn't have that experience. But Trish, then we're giving our age away.
Absolutely. And I'm just thinking the people who are 20 or 30 years above us are saying the same thing to us.
Exactly. And that's exactly it, Trish, because you don't know what you don't know.
No, exactly. And we can only do the best from where we are and with what we know. And if you know better tomorrow, you can do better tomorrow. And I think too many of us beat ourselves up about not doing the best they could. But I mean, not thinking that they did the best they could, but they did.
Yes.
And when you know better, do better.
Exactly. We're so hard on ourselves, aren't we?
Yeah.
So hard on ourselves. So Trish, in this space, as you know, the wellness community has the wellness conversations. We have that going in a number of different areas, and but on here it's the woo woo installment. And I'm just wondering, we didn't actually get a chance to talk about this, but you know, you and I, and especially with your psychic and intuitive energy. Trish, let's talk some woo-woo. If I had to say, like, what's a woo-woo story? Even a woo-woo story that perhaps is aligned with knowing better and doing better. Does anything kind of come to mind?
Well, what came to mind immediately was when I a story about when I first realised that I could tune into spirit, and I was going through. My dad had. Left when I was an early teenager, and I was going through a really hard relationship breakup with this fellow who I had to get a DVO out on. I think I was about 23 or something, and I think I was just having this bit of a mental breakdown. I'm like, oh, I just need to know. I wish you were here, Dad, to help me or whatever. And that night, he actually, in spirit, sat on my bed and just said, everything's going to be okay. Now, how do I know it was him? Because I felt it. So I think a lot of these things happen to people, but they don't trust it. That it's like, oh, no, I don't trust that. I don't trust that. But I really tuned in. I was like, oh. And then, you know, it didn't kind of happen for a little while after that. But I always remember that experience, because I'm like, you know what? I am aware of other things outside of what we can see. And now, of course, you know, spirit just shows up all the time for me. But I can't see them. It's a feeling.
I love it. And I love that you say that, because that's exactly right. When I really started to, I was interested in all of this for such a long time, just personally. And when I really started to study it in earnest, I realised that it comes to us in so many different ways. Some of us see it, hear it, feel it. And I love how you said that about your dad. You know, when I lost Mum, you've just helped me to recall a woo-woo. When Mum died, when we grew up, I used to love Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree. That was a song that I used to hear a lot, you know, as a child in the back seat of the car, Mum and Dad in the front, my two brothers being, you know, bloody buggerlugs beside me, you know, causing all sorts of strife and nonsense. And that song, I associated that song with childhood. And when Mum passed, I had said, Mum, you know, it is, and I was quite deep into the belief of everything that we believe spiritually. And I said, Mum, you know, if there really is a, you know, a hereafter, if there's something after all of this, then, you know, the sign will be that I'll hear that song. And I hadn't heard it, obviously, for years and years and years and years and years. Now, with the kids, we used to play Buzz. Do you remember that there's a game called Buzz, and it's a music thing, and it's like a Sony game, and you plug it in, and then you've got a controller, and then songs come up and you've got to guess them. Now, we had been playing that game with the kids for years, Trish, and then suddenly, and it was about 6 months after Mum passed, I'd never heard that song on this game in all the times that we had played it. And one night we sat there playing it, and as we're playing, one of the options, as it came up to select the name of the song, one of the songs was Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree. And when I saw it, I went, oh, my God. And then I remembered, and I said to my brother, oh, that's so funny. When Mum died, I was looking for confirmation and a sign, and I said that would be the sign. And my brother said, oh, well, that's funny. He'd gone through all his old records that day, and he'd pulled that song out, and he had played it that morning. Wow.
It's and it's the noticing of it, isn't it? Because a lot of those
Yes.
things go unnoticed.
Yes.
And my mum's kind of come in now and said, I want you to tell them about me as well. So just
lovely.
Just let me tell you a quick story. When my mum passed away, we were actually down there because it was actually, we actually went down to Canberra because my first grandson passed away. That's why we were there.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so we're in Mum's house, and she passed away on the day of his funeral.
You're joking.
No, but there's all, you know, everything always is.
Happens. Yeah.
But anyway, on that weekend, it was funny. We went and did the funeral, and then went to the nursing home, and then came back. And I said to my daughter, "Oh, just don't sit in Grandma's chair because she's there." Because she was there, and
I love it.
And it freaked my daughter out, obviously. And she's like, "Arr!" Anyway, Mum downloaded some stuff to me that night. But over that whole weekend, she showed me everything she wanted at the funeral.
Wow.
She arranged it. Things were falling off the fridge. Boxes were showing up with stuff on the top. Prayers.
I love
everything.
It.
And then on Sunday night, everything was organised, and there was like a little butterfly at the kitchen window, and it flew away. And I'm like, okay, we've done everything. Everything's done. So even
that is so awesome.
It is, and they're always trying to give us messages, but often we don't listen. We don't.
Yeah, so reassuring. And I bet you the stories we've just told, will be exactly what someone out there in Spiritual Events Directory land needs to hear.
Absolutely.
So how awesome. So ladies, we're so happy to be here. We're always very thrilled and thankful and appreciative. We're very grateful for the opportunity, and we would love to do some readings for some of you. If not, you know, we'd love to do for all of you, but obviously we can only achieve so much in the hour. So let me have a look. We've got lots of lovely ladies tuning in. Hello to Kim. Hello to Tracy. Brenda Middleton. Hello. Priscilla, Darlene. Hello. So ladies, who wants a reading? So Trish, what are you going to use tonight? I'll pull some cards as well. I'm a storyteller, so my downloads, if you like, and I'm very much about symbolism, and then because I'm a storyteller, a story just occurs to me, and I tell the story, and somehow that is relative to wherever the individual is at and what they need. So
absolutely,
let's see. And so, what are you going to use, Trish?
I've got 3 decks of cards here. I've got my Chinese fortune reading cards. I've got angel answer cards, and I've got my shining tarot deck.
Oh, I love those. Are they round?
They are indeed. Yes.
That is awesome. I love that. Okay. Oh, Kim, well, let's start with you, Kim. I would very much appreciate a reading, please. Thank you kindly. So we're reading for Kim.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Hi, Kim.
Hey, Kim.
Oh, and excuse me, everybody, for itching my nose. It's normally when the spirits are around, they seem to like to just, I feel like they've got feathers. All of them are just playing jokes on me.
Oh, wow.
Kim, I'm really feeling that there's a message from your dad here about something. So I don't know why that's come in, but it just has. Just let me see what we've got here. Kim, I'm just sensing that there's something in your self-confidence, in your ability to see the beauty in yourself. There's something you're not seeing, and I feel in situations like this that, and I'm not sure if your dad has passed or not. If it's not him, it's another male figure. But there's someone coming in saying, you know, you are beautiful. Why can't you see the beauty that I see? So I'm not quite sure whether you're just needing that as a confirmation, but I just feel that there's something right now in you that you've lost self-confidence. You don't feel that you are good enough for something, and this is really saying you are. And I feel that there's a male spirit coming in. 33 is also about the Ascenders Masters, so it could also be like Archangel Michael or Raphael, actually, coming in to say that, but I'm really sensing Dad there.
Wonderful. And I love that card. That card is so beautiful.
Isn't it ever?
So lovely. Well, there you go. So beautiful. And then also I would add with the number 3, Kim, that the number 3 in numerology is very much about the journey of expression. So, you know, you could be sitting in life as a gift, or you could be sitting in life as garbage. You know, number 3 is very much about perspective, and the power is within all of us to see it in a way that empowers us, or you can see it in a way that disempowers you. And the card that I got was focus.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, scattered thoughts or ideas confuse the creative process, which is all about the number 3. Maintain steady focus and you will begin to see change. So number 3 is the creator, and you can absolutely create, but when you are powerful in how you create, you have to be very mindful then, because you can create good, bad, otherwise. So beautiful.
Focus on what you want, not what you don't want.
Yes, lovely. Okay, and we've got, so Trish, we've got Loz. Loz says,
Hey, Loz.
Wonder if that's short for Lorraine.
I'm not sure. All right, Loz, let's see what pops out for you. I've just been drawn to pull a tarot card for you, so let's see what you need to know. Okay, so we've got the King of Pentacles. It's a beautiful card. In this one, it really denotes generosity and somebody who's very loyal, very generous, very giving. So this could be you, Loz, but I'm just getting the message here that there's somebody in your life that you truly can trust and reach out to, and somebody who's very grounded, very loyal, very down to earth, and they might be giving you something, you can trust it. I feel there's just trust keeps coming.
Trust. What numbers are the King of Pentacles here?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, let's see what I get for Loz. I love how it always aligns. It's so good.
Does.
So good. Oh, look at that. And it does. Security.
That's beautiful. That's security.
Exactly. Pentacles is all about, Pentacles is earth, and earth, you know, the earth, which is all about security. So your level of security increases when you take a risk and discover more of who you are instead of fearing change.
Perfect.
So how perfect is that, you know? And also too, what goes with that, Trish, can often be what comes to mind for me is that saying that you know, for the believer, no evidence is necessary, and for the non-believer, no amount of evidence is enough. So,
absolutely, it's all about trust, isn't it?
All about trust and all about having that faith and belief in yourself, Loz. And a really good, to me, a really good, and what I do in coaching, you probably do the same, Trish. And ladies, I have the Magic of Believing program that's launched now, which is a course in confidence and that journey from self-doubt to self-belief. So, you know, when you have a good way to develop trust in yourself, ladies, is to look back at everything that you've already come through. You know, Trish just told a story then. I mean, Trish, you lost your dad, then your grandson, and then your mum. I mean, wow, but look at you here. You know, still standing strong, and absolutely. How did you know? What was the thing that just made you go, "That's it, I'm doing it. I'm bloody doing it."
I've drawn many lines in the sand, Michelle.
I love it. There's so many levels, isn't there?
There is. Yeah, I've always just had this feeling that there's more. I know there's more, and so for me not to grow makes me feel very sad. There's a feeling of, oh, I can't stay here. I know other people don't have that urge to grow and they're happy with the status quo, but for me it's like, no, I've got this urge to grow constantly. So
I love it. And then, you know, when you put that into this reading for Loz, you know, with Pentacles and Pentacles being all about the money stuff as well, Trish, what also came to mind for you, Loz, is you know, sometimes on some subconscious, unconscious level, there's vows of poverty. Yeah. So again, we can only move forward and prosper and be rich from the inside out when we are truly sitting in that space of faith, belief, and trust in ourselves. And when that happens, everything else is easy.
Yeah. Everything else flows. It all just lines up, doesn't it?
Just lines up, flows and grows. So we've got the beautiful Christy, and Christy is after... Christy, hello ladies, would love a reading, in particular, just a general reading, or in particular, just to know what's next for her business, please.
Ah, interesting. Okay. Yeah. Let me have a look here. I'm actually going to pull another one of these Chinese fortune cards.
Wow, so lovely. I love the graphics on that.
They are. All right, what's the next step in your business? Is that the question?
Yeah, what's the next step in her business?
Okay, so we've got number 27, soul symbol.
Oh, I love it.
It's beautiful. So firstly, it's a number 9, which is about completion. I really feel it's time for you to truly step into something that in your business that you've been a bit scared about, because it represents something from you on a soul level. That's really what I'm getting here. So the next level for you is to express something in your business that's coming. It's going to take a little bit of vulnerability.
Yes, I love how you said that. And also, so it is the number 9, Christy, which is the journey of the archetype is the humanitarian. So it's about completion with the number 9, and it's also about when the focus is on, and because I know, Christy, when the focus is on what I can do, how can I serve, what can I give, when that happens, you're absolutely on path and on track. Yeah. But it's 2 + 7 equals the 9. So with the number 2 is, you know, whatever you're here to achieve on that humanitarian level, you're going to do so with the number 2, which is about partnership and teamwork. Together, everyone achieves more. And then the number 7. So the number 7 is, again, we come back to trust. So, yeah, and the number 2 can be, you know, when you think about the number 2 as the diplomat, the archetype is diplomat. Number 7 is the high priestess.
Yeah, very intuitive too, number 7,
yes,
isn't it? It's intuitive.
exactly. And both 2 and 7, very intuitive, very sensitive.
Yeah.
So it's about bringing that sensitivity, which could sometimes, when it's your superpower plus that number 7. Otherwise, if you're sitting in the over-analysis, the analysis paralysis, then you're in the negative at the number 7. And if you're sitting in the with the number 2, if there's that overly sensitive, then also sitting in the negative of that energy. So it's really about the diplomat. Now, the diplomat goes into warring situations and makes peace. So the diplomat plus the high priestess becomes the humanitarian in the highest sense of the word, and you move forward.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Time to take a risk. Take a risk and express something in yourself that you need to be vulnerable about. Yeah.
Yes. Well, look at this. We've got, I think, Johnny. Now, I don't think we haven't done too many readings for the men in our session. Perfect. Johnny Retro would love to know about a job change soon. So let's see what comes up with Johnny.
Beautiful. All right. Okay, there's your answer, Johnny. Take action.
I love it.
So before I pulled that card out, I think I was feeling for you, Johnny, that, even just the fact that you're asking it means that you're just unsettled where you are. You're really looking for some change. Sometimes we sit in that just hoping that something will change, but you need to take action. So there really needs to be some focus on, what is that dream? What is not so much the ideal job, but how do you want to feel when you go to work? How do you want to feel in that workplace? Get really clear on that and shoot that out to the universe, and then take action moving towards that. I found that was really interesting for me at one point. I had to leave a workplace because of bullying, and I was out of work for 6 weeks with no money and everything else, but I wasn't going to just go back to a workplace that had ethics like that. So so I just put it out there to the universe. I want a job that I like doing. I want a nice environment where I'm free to do what I want, basically. Something I'm good at, good remuneration, etc., and fair income. This job just landed in my lap. I didn't even go for an interview. It was only in a company of 5 people. I was doing what I loved. I got a car.
Yes.
I had freedom, and it's not something that I would have gone and searched for.
Yes.
But it gave me what I wanted. So, Johnny, that is just saying to you, what is it that you actually want? And let the universe come to you with every step you take forward. Let it come to you.
Yeah. I love it. I love that story. I had a similar story myself.
Oh,
and
perfect.
the card that's come up for Johnny Insights, a series of recent insights gradually reveal where your true strengths lie and the new path that awaits you. So for me, what comes to mind for me there is exactly what Trish was saying as well, that, it's the journey. It's so important to understand yourself. It's so important to understand your journey. It's so important to know, where I am, where I want to go, put the vision in place to get there. It's so important to know what you like and don't like. So I had a similar experience to Trish where, like you, Trish, I was in a situation where I needed work. I, was looking after my son, was younger at the time, supporting my son, my dad. So therefore I was quite desperate. I needed money for the mortgage. I was, when you're desperate, what do? You just, grab out and you want to just latch onto anything, everything. And I did that for a little bit. And you know what happens? Your energy, when you're in that space, your energy, unfortunately, what goes out to the universe is the energy of, desperation. I'm not going to get what I want. This is not going to work. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm going to, I haven't got any money. I'm broke. I'm poor. And anyway, I went for an interview, and when I came out of there, I just had this bolt of lightning, which was, that was just not the kind of situation I wanted to be in. And yet I was begging them for a job. And even though I was in a spot of desperate, I tell you what, you can slow down the whole universe by absolutely stepping into a different kind of energy. Again, you get back to faith and trust and belief in yourself, and you can and just deal in the present moment. In the present moment, I was okay. So in that moment, I did what Trish did. I went back to the vision. Where do I want to work? What do I want to be doing? What did my co-workers feel like? What did the boss feel like? And like Trish, I'm not kidding. It came up within a couple of weeks. I had the choice out of two jobs that matched what I was, and I made my decision from there. So honestly, you know, Johnny, if you don't already know what you want, you know, what you like, all that sort of stuff, then reach out and get some help for that. Trish can. We're going to put Trish's website up after the show, and you'll be able to, if you want a reading. But first step is to know what you want. As soon as you know what you want, the universe will conspire to make that happen.
Absolutely. And I have quite a few people coming to me about work. And the other thing I say to people is, yes, you've got to go in for your interview, but you need to interview the workplace as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that was the big thing that changed for me each and every time I step up into a new level, Trish. That's exactly right. This is your life. You've got the starring role. The business that you are in, regardless of what you do or don't do, the business is you. You're the business. Every time you're going to that employer, as you said, you're interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you.
Yeah.
And it changes everything.
Oh, it absolutely does. Yep.
It changes everything. Oh, I love it. Now,
good luck, Johnny.
Good luck, Johnny. I hope that gives you some insight. And if not, you know, there's so many fabulous people that you can reach out to. And Loz said her name was short for Lauren.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is awesome. Okay, beautiful. So now we've got, let me see, I'll get somebody else. Teresa. Hi, would love a reading. Any messages from my mum and dad who passed just before Christmas?
Oh gosh, both together.
That's very sad. My condolences. Our condolences to you, Teresa. It's you know, a very sad time when we lose the people we love. Both Trish and I have both. I lost my brother in my 20s and mum in my early 40s, and you know, a terrible time. And you never get over it, do you, Trish? But you find a way to move past it.
Yes, I don't think anyone ever gets over anything. You move past it, and you step more into the. And Teresa, I think this will probably take you this entire year, but you will get more into the habit of thinking. When you think about your parents, you'll think of the good times, not the sadness of them going. And the thing that you really want to remember is that. You know, you've had many years of experiences, of good experiences that you can draw on, not just that final week or final 2 weeks of sadness. So start to think about some good things. They're saying to me that they had to go together. So just know that everything was okay and they had to go together. So that's why that's happened. I feel they are around you, but not making it known. And I don't know why that is. Maybe they're just not ready, but I feel they are around you, but they're not making it known to you yet. So let me pull. I've just got another deck here that I was just. Beautiful. So I was just drawn to pull one from my Moon Oracle deck, and it's gratitude. This, to me, is your parents here saying how grateful they are for you and for everything that you did do, and have done.
That's a beautiful card as well.
It truly is. Yeah, it really is a beautiful card. So I just feel there's a lot of gratitude there for you, Teresa, and just please know they're very grateful to you, and try to tune in to some of the happy memories you have of them.
And actually, as we said at the start, you know, our stories will probably be what our audience need to hear. So, Teresa, if you missed the beginning of our show, Trish and I both spoke about having some woo-woo experiences with our loved ones. So if you want to know a really good, and this worked with my brother and works still, and my mum's name was Hilda. So Hilda, and Trish, when Mum was alive, I very rarely ever heard that name, yeah? I don't think I ever heard it.
Okay.
After my mum died, within a couple of months, I had a student. Her name was Hilda. I was watching telly one night, Trish, and I was actually flicking between two different shows, and in one of the flicks, I came back to a scene. They were at the cinema. They were in front of the cinema, and at the top when they have what's on at the cinema, and it went around the corner like this, and the shot was on a character, the actor in the show, and the name was Hilda. I went to
Hi, Mum.
Yeah, exactly. I went to a cafe about a year after Mum died. Again, ending up there was just sort of not on my path of where I was going at the time. I pulled in, I turned around, and there was a cafe, and it was called
Hilda's.
Hilda. So I tell you, and every time it's so lovely, because every time I see it, Teresa, that's Mum. Hey, Mum, that's Mum saying, I'm all right. I'm all right. Yeah. I'm alive in a whole different way now. You can't see and touch me, but I'm still with you. So if you haven't already done so, Teresa, ask for a sign. Whatever whatever was the thing, okay, whatever was the thing between you, whether it was a song, or a butterfly, or as you say, everyone's got something. Some people see feathers. Ask for the sign, and it will come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, lovely. And so Trish, tell us a little bit about your readings, because you are a transformation catalyst, and you do so many things. There's so many tools in your kit, but you certainly are available for readings. Do you also have a coaching program?
I certainly do. So I do psychic intuitive readings. I like to find solutions for people. So mostly the clients that come to me want solutions to really empower themselves to move forward and live their best life. That's really what I love doing. And I was just talking to somebody today, actually, and someone comes to me with a problem that they think is the problem. I see like in flashing neon lights across their body, this is the problem, and then I go, oh, this is actually the problem, not that. It's just one of those magic skills I've got. So when you can actually get clear on what the problem is, you can find an answer. So that's what I'm really great at.
God, everything you say, I just go, yes.
And the cards help me do that. So I can find those solutions without the cards, but the cards help me guide through all of the information that's coming through, so that I can also get clear. So that's with the readings. They're really good fun. They're all recorded on a platform like this, and so you can listen to it at your leisure later on down the track. And it doesn't matter where in the world you are. I read everywhere in the world. And my mentoring program, yes, this is about its dynamic transformation, and it's really for people at that point in their life where they want change.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I'm trying to find another reading for the two of us, but while I'm doing that, so your website, how do they get to you?
trishrock.com is my website, and they can also go over to Facebook, Trish Rock Transformation, and connect with me there. I do lots of fun stuff on that page, and all of my readings are there. You can book them in.
Wonderful. Well, Johnny Retro, we've got some fantastic feedback for you. Johnny Retro said, well done, Trish.
Oh,
so that is awesome, spot on. And beautiful. Same with Teresa. Thank you so much. So really glad that those two enjoyed what we had to say there. Okay, who else can? Let's see. All right, Maureen. Maureen Bates would love a reading. Let's see what we've got coming up for Maureen. Okay. So she loves the angel cards.
Oh, they're the exact ones I just grabbed, Maureen. I love that synchronicity. All right, Maureen.
So good.
It is. Let's see what's going on for you. And I don't know if you can see me shuffling, but the cards usually fly out. So
they do, don't they?
It's whichever one flies out, there it is there. So Maureen, I've got the situation will improve. One of the things that I really love about this card, whenever it comes up, is the dolphins. And the dolphins remind me to have fun.
Yeah.
And there's also 3 of them, which is also about having some fun and also creativity,
Yes,
which is what you were saying.
Yeah, the inner child.
Yeah. So the first thing here is the situation will improve as soon as you can get yourself out of the problem. So do whatever you can do. You cannot find a solution to a problem when you're in the problem. It's it just doesn't happen. You need to get out of the problem. So how do you get out of the problem?
Yes.
Go have some fun. Oh, look at that. Happiness. Yes.
Happiness and feeling good are clear signs from our intuition that we are following our true path.
Yes. Get into as much joy and happiness as you can, Maureen, even if it's only just for 5 minutes a day. It will get you out of the problem long enough for a solution to come in.
Yes.
Yeah, but it will improve.
Awesome.
It will improve.
Awesome. Now we've got, okay, what about Jacinta? I don't believe we've read for Jacinta before. Hiya. Anything at all, please, would be pretty pleased, she said. So we'll do one for Jacinta.
Beautiful. I've grabbed my tarot deck. There's a message in here that we need to uncover. A bit hard to shuffle these round ones, but
I love them. I love when it's I love when they're different.
Yeah. Okay. We've got the Knave of Wands. The Knave is like the page. It's before the knight, and it's a learner. It's you learning something new. And Wands is typically in your career, your work, something you're passionate about, your business.
Yes, passion.
So the Knave of Wands is you just starting something that you're passionate about. And there's, to me, I'm just getting a sense that you really are being guided by your life guide. We've all got at least 1, sometimes up to 3 life guides that are with us for every lifetime. And I feel that yours is really guiding you here and saying to you, yes, keep going, keep going. See the hand reaching out here, keep going, keep going. And it's like what you were saying before, Michelle, you know, when did I draw the line in the sand and say I need change? All the time.
Yes. I love that you say that. And, you know, I've been, you know, with the birth of The Magic of Believing in You, which audience is a book that I read at 25, and it was a book that I read at 25 and it changed the rest of my life, and it became the foundation upon which everything else was built in the most amazing, illuminating, enlightening, reassuring way. Yes. So The Magic of Believing, the book, you know, all the books that came after that, like The Secret, were inspired by this book. So it was written in the 40s, and Trish, you know, there's so much in the book. You've got mind stuff experiments, the power of thought. You've got the art of mental pictures, how to project your thoughts, and you've got the power of belief. And the book just basically takes you through so much. It's scientifically proven, practical steps. It takes you through a whole bunch of stories and a whole bunch of examples of the power of self-talk and the power of thought, and that whatever we think, if you think you can, you're right. Yes. If you think you can't, you're right.
Also right.
Yeah. And that's what I have found, Trish, that over the course of, I've done so much in so many ways. I've done so many different things, and the biggest, bestest things that I ever do is always when I come back to drawing another line in the sand.
Yeah.
It's just as easy as that, isn't it? And what have we got here to go with that? Attraction. Beautiful. An attraction to something you desire or someone you admire has positive potential to enter your life soon, which is exactly what Trish was saying there for you, Basina. Yes,
beautiful.
Passion.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
Yeah. And then actually The Magic of Believing is all about how to harness the law of attraction. So that card for you, Basina, is perfect. It's a reminder that wherever you're coming from, but you know, you really, again, it's so important to understand yourself. It's so important to understand your story. And it's really vital to understand your unconscious drivers. right? Because I love how Russell Brand puts it, you know, Russell Brand being an addict and working that being a recovering addict and working the 12-step program. I love Trish how he says, if you're not working a program, if you're not running a program, the program is running you.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's the thing. That's like with your mind. And I say to people, if you can have, most people have their mind ruling them.
Absolutely, they're prisoner to monkey mind. So for you, Vicenta, honestly, getting those 2 cards is really giving you some clear insight into the fact that wherever you are at is what you attract. So if you're attracting, if it's good, that's great. What are you thinking? I always say, what are you thinking? If you're attracting that isn't so good, then what are you thinking? And you can change everything by changing how it's the thoughts you attach to, isn't it, Trish?
Absolutely. And if you are looking for a change in your career or your business, or you're just starting something, it is your thoughts that will keep you moving further. And if you do come across a roadblock, just see it as a roadblock, not as an end.
Yes,
just keep going.
I love that. Absolutely. Okay, so that was for, it's an unusual name as well, isn't it?
It is.
But we're getting some great feedback.
There's some nice energy. Yeah, I can feel all the energy of the people here today. They're beautiful.
So lovely. And there's so many of you, and you know, we can't do for all of you, but we are in this space every Sunday. So you know, we'd love you to come back and of course tell all your friends and family about this show if they are woo-woo too. And then you can reach out after the session to both Trish and myself if you need some more. So what about Priscilla, and she's just said, Priscilla, John, I need some guidance, please. So let's see what falls out of the deck for you, Priscilla.
Let's see. And yes, definitely, this is a fantastic show, Michelle, and you have amazing people on and really help people in a different way than just a normal kind of card read. So I would highly recommend you all come back here every Sunday and also hook up with Michelle outside of the show with her other beautiful things that she does. All right.
Thank you so much.
Let's see. I don't know if it wants to come out of this deck or not. Oh, there it is. We've got travel. Interesting. The thing I'm noticing first though is the 5. So I feel there's some change coming.
Yes, love that 5.
Yeah, I love 5s too. So I think there's some change coming. And 5's also about communication. So I just really feel that I'm sensing you kind of in this place of will I, won't I, will I, won't I. But you've got to really express what you want here. Because otherwise you're just allowing life to kind of take place and roll on. You need to express something here so that you can travel forward. But this may also be a physical travel that might be coming up for you.
I love it. Okay, well, let's see what comes out of this deck for Priscilla. And I love, as you say, the number 5. So the number 5 is an archetype as the entrepreneur, can also be the traveller, of course, and as a journey, it's the journey of self-discovery. So again, ladies, we kind of get back to, and I'm very, very passionate about knowing yourself, to know yourself and to thine own self be true. It's the most powerful, it's your superpower when you know who you are, where you are, why you are there, how you got there, what you've learned out of that journey and what's up ahead. It's so powerful because you know you're the strong center at the core of it all. And if you don't have that understanding, I've got satisfaction.
Oh, the song is coming into my head.
Yes. True satisfaction is achieved when you allow your confidence to go one step ahead of you, clearing the path to well-deserved success. I love that.
Absolutely. So, Priscilla, this really is about you communicating what you want. You've got to step up. You've got to step up. What is satisfying you at the moment or what is not satisfying you at the moment? And the song is coming through my head. I can't get no satisfaction. I just feel you're in a space of why can't I have what I want? You've got to communicate what you want.
Exactly. And now Pat, okay, so Pat Burgess, Pat, I'll just let Pat know that we're reading for her now, reading for you now. And Pat's after some work guidance. She's a bit confused, currently unemployed and confused as to what path I should take next.
Oh, okay. Well, the answer immediately would be what makes you feel good. All right. This is interesting. I've got the recovery. I just feel that there needs to be a little moment here for you, Pat, before you do choose the next step for you, and really just taking a step back and tuning in with yourself and really asking, what is it that I want? But, you know, because if you don't take that step back and ask yourself, what is it that I want and what makes me feel good, you're going to end up in the same situation wherever you were that you've had to recover from.
Yeah, and isn't it interesting, Trish, that we've had a number of the audience tonight. It's been you know, the sort of standout issue has been feeling a little bit lost and off track.
Yeah.
And relating to work and business. And you know what, ladies, this is the good news. This is what I love, and this is what I love about all the many ways in which you can choose to see it differently to how others see it, or to how society sees it. So to me, you know, like the Wheel of Fortune, Trish, in tarot, the Wheel of Fortune, what goes up comes down. And the good news is what's down must go up again.
Absolutely.
Must go up again. So ladies, when you're off track, when you're lost and confused, it's a great space to be in, because we don't fix what isn't broken.
Yeah.
So when you're going through these moments of I don't know where the hell I'm supposed to be or who the hell I'm supposed to be, it's a great opportunity to just let go and let God. Because what's going to grow out of that is going to be a brand new you. And actually on that, we've got Future Me 2020, which is a fantastic group on Facey. Trish, we had a real life event. We had a huge campaign in January. So ladies and gents, if you're building a new you in 2020, you need help to do so. We've got a page and a group that can help you with that. But Pat, what I was attracted to the P in Pat, because P is number 7 in numerology, and Pat, P is number 7. I should just double check that, because you know I have a few more old timers moments these days, Trish. You know, LMNO, P, definitely the number 7, and the number 7 can be the overthinker. Okay, number 7. When number 7 brings head, and when the head and the heart and the intuition is aligned and lines up, and you know when to do what, and you know when to do what and when, then you are absolutely in you're in the optimum of that energy, and you are the all powerful. So when you get to that with the mind, but what happens with 7? It gets stuck in the mind. It doesn't trust its instincts and intuition, and it doesn't trust how it feels. And the mind then becomes overly used, and then it becomes analysis paralysis, obsessive, compulsive, and you drive yourself crazy, and you can't see the trees for the forest, or the forest for the trees, or something like that. So when that happens, when you can't figure it out with your mind, Pat, it's a sign that you must let it go and wait. You must let it go, and you must trust, and there you go.
Faith, beautiful.
You got to have faith, the faith. You got to continue to keep your faith strong and unwavering. You shall soon be rewarded for your effort.
Beautiful.
Okay? And again, it goes back to what Trish was saying, and I was saying that what we tend to do when we're going through a difficult time is we tend to think it's the end of the world. And unless it is the end of the world, it's never the end of the world. And we get really panicky. And when we get panicky and nervous and we think it's the end of the world, the energy changes. And then we just attract more of this energy that's going to, you know, not be good for us. So you just have to actually go, that's okay. That's okay. Center balance and think about what you want.
Yeah. And just, a bit of meditation, I think, would be really good for you, Pat. Just do a bit of meditation.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Perfect. We've had so many beautiful ladies in here tonight. Trish, it's been absolutely awesome.
It's been lovely.
So good. Who else would like, and there's so many of them, I'm just trying to be fair to those that we haven't read for in other weeks. Now, let's see. Tracy, Sharon Thomas, need to make a big decision, really don't know what to do. Okay, Sharon, let's see what comes up for you. We'll read for you now.
It's interesting, isn't it, that whenever I'm doing readings in these settings or, you know, on other platforms, the people that are tuning in, as you said in the beginning, it all ties in. It's all, you know, the answers to many of the questions have already been said. But let's tune in here and see. I've got a lot of cards coming out. So for that to me, who are we reading for?
We are reading for Sharon.
Sharon. That for me, Sharon, is a sign that you really are just a bit stuck in your head. What will I do? What will I do? And we've got the 10 of chalices here for you. So the 10 of water, and the 10 of chalices is typically a card of, you know, total emotional happiness. And in this particular deck, though, we've got all these kids playing with these chalices, and the message that I'm getting from this is that you do have a lot of choices. Go with the one that feels best. Go with the one that feels best for you, not the one that's right for everyone else, not the one you should do, not the one that's financially better. Go for the one that feels best for you. What have we got there? Sensitive. Oh, water.
Feeling sensitive indicates an issue which needs to be resolved in your own time, not anyone else's, which ties in beautifully with what Trish just said.
Yeah. Do what feels best for you, Sharon, and everything will line up for you.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, now who else? We've got about 8 minutes, ladies. So wow, yes, let me see. I'll go back to just trying to be as fair as possible and go back to the oldest comments and see who we haven't read for.
And is Johnny our only fellow in here tonight, or have we got? Oh, hey Johnny.
Exactly, but how lovely! Oh, and he was very pleased. There was a couple of messages there from Johnny.
Beautiful.
We gave him something to think about there.
Wonderful.
Okay, Tracy Hazel would love a reading, please. General, what's happening, or am I on the right path? So Tracy, we'll read for you now.
Wonderful. All right. Okay, so we've got a year from now. So I feel you are on the right path, and it will really become clear probably towards the end of this year. So we go back to the you know, line in the sand. Don't give up. Keep going.
Yeah.
If you do need to stop something that's not working, it's okay to quit what isn't working.
Yeah.
But take on something that is working. So I mean, if I'm on a path towards something, I don't quit. But if something that I'm doing to get to the end result is not working, I certainly quit that and try something else. So for you, I think definitely know that whatever it is you're wanting is working itself out. So don't quit yet.
Yeah. And what's the number?
No number on this one.
No number on that one. Okay.
It's just a year from now, so maybe 1.
Oh, okay, beautiful. And then the number 1 would tie in beautifully with what Trish just said. Okay, number one is absolutely determined. Number 1 is, you know, pave your own path. Number 1 is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You are at the core of the center of your life. You know, I learned this a long time ago after reading that Magic of Believing in You. I just learnt that if I didn't believe in me, you know, I'm at the core of it all. And if I didn't believe in me, you know, who's going to? Who's going to? And it's a cliche. It sounds cheesy and it's a cliche, but it really always comes back to whatever you want in the world out there, you really have to be it first. Yeah. So as Trish said, coming back to your path, you know, I mean, I've got Trish and I both have some great ways that we can help you know exactly what path you're on. I do it with numerology. Numerology gives me absolute insight into your life path, your all the cycles and the personality traveling the path, and Trish has got her own way. But, you know, you can take all of that away and just, as Trish said, go with your gut.
Yeah.
And all, you know, Trish, I'm like you. I never knew where I was going, but I always knew when it was time to leave. And I always just followed the dots, and I never you just don't give up. And the number one is really a unique perspective. Number one is a leader, they're out in front. And if you're out in front, you're on your own. So being on your own and being alone in that instance is good.
It is good because you're not listening to all the shoulds and all the other people's fears. I think a numerology session would be perfect for Sharon or anyone listening. It really brings clarity. If you know what your number is and what your path is, it explains who you are.
It does. What's yours, Trish?
I'm a 7.
Yeah, there you go. So see, harmony on an uncomfortable, awkward or negative situation soon resolves itself and harmony returns. And of course, Tracy, number 1 is new beginnings.
Yes.
In numerology.
Beautiful.
So how beautiful. Okay, so one more. We've got time for one more. Thanks, Johnny. Johnny said, Trish rock, you ladies are awesome.
Oh, thank you.
So lovely. Okay, now who's going to be our lucky last? And look, you know what? That has really been the outstanding, which just reminded me of a fabulous little meme that I came across. If anybody asks, I'm outside. Well, how's that little meme go? If anyone asks, I'm outside standing. Something like it was along that outstanding. I'm outstanding.
I'm outstanding. If anyone asks, I'm outstanding. Yeah.
And I love all that sort of stuff, right? I love all that sort of stuff. You take inspiration wherever you can find it. And if you hear a story or if you see a quote or for me, I can just hear something and I go, oh, yes. And if that helps to empower you and keep you moving forward and keep you going, that actually at the end of the day is the only difference between successful people and unsuccessful people.
Absolutely.
I have found that unsuccessful people, successful people don't have everything handed to them on a platter. They just don't give up on themselves.
No, and you would have a house like mine, Michelle, with quotes and things everywhere. And I think the bathroom mirror is the most powerful place. So I've got a long list of stuff there that I read every morning. But that quote you just said, if anyone asks, I'm outstanding. Everyone listening here tonight, put that on your mirror, on a piece of paper, or write it in lipstick. Yes. Imagine
that'll be our quote for the week.
And just look at that every morning and smile and go, yeah, I am. I'm outstanding.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do one more. We'll do it for Annabelle because Annabelle posted that about 45 minutes ago. So, Annabelle, we are reading for you now.
Okay. Hopefully you're still here, Annabelle. All right. Wish. All right. And we've got number 8.
8.
Yay. No, so 2 and 6 as 8. Annabelle, the message I'm getting from here is that it's back to the manifesting law of attraction that we've been talking about tonight. Whatever you want, you need to wish it first. So what are you wishing for? And in your language, are you wishing something that you don't want, or are you wishing something into being that you do want? So here's an example. If it's about money, I wish I wasn't broke.
Oh, there you are.
Oh. If you're saying to yourself, I wish I wasn't broke, you'll stay broke.
That's right.
You need to change the words. I wish I was. I wish for more money to flow in. So choose what you're wishing. Oh, look, wishes and dreams. I love that.
Isn't that great? So spend time to dream about changes you wish to create is an investment that attracts results.
I love how everything is synced tonight, Michelle.
Exactly. So aligned. So that was Annabelle, and also Annabelle with the 2 The 2 and the 6. Oh, number 8 is the manager. And think about the manager. Think about a great manager that you've had in the past, and adopt those qualities. So 8 as the manager isn't sitting around waiting for life to happen to her. No. She is absolutely out there managing life. So the number 2, and the number 2 is self-love. The number 6 is self-approval.
Beautiful.
Okay, bring that together, bring those 2 things together, and you'll absolutely step into number 8, which is all about power, our personal power, how we use that, how we use our personal power. You're either using it to move yourself forward, or you're using that power, you're disempowered, and you're allowing yourself to be disempowered by something or someone, and it's important to identify who and what that is. And when you nip that in the bud, you'll move forward. Wonderful.
Oh, I've just absolutely loved all of your knowledge and information about numbers tonight. It's been fascinating. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Trish Rock, for coming into our show. It's been absolutely awesome. And I'm going to get you on the radio show, our wellness conversations on KC Radio, everybody, 97.7 FM, every Tuesday, 3 to 4 p.m. If you can't listen live in Melbourne, it's also online. And so we're going to pop the links into for Trish and for the wellness community. And if you resonate and you want to reach out, then honestly, please do. Mwah!
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
How fun. It's so much fun, isn't it?
It is. It is.
So much fun. We'll see you next week, Spiritual Events Directory. Bye.